Throughout the holiday season, Grotmas has brought sweeping rules changes throughout the 40k verse. And today, we have the new Thousand Suns detachment and the new Tau detachment. Can the new look Thousand Suns repel the Tau? Welcome everyone as Papa Bear Studios presents Thousand Suns versus Tau. We have an awesome matchup today as Papa Bear, fielding the greater good forces of the Tau with a lot of Kroot, will be taking on Josh and all the psychic might of the Thousand Suns.
The Kroot are the backbone of my army today, and they're going to throw their lives away for the sake of the greater good.
Back again for another battle report with the Thousand Suns. This time I think I'm just going to go for the flow and bring the flow of magic into the Bear's Den.
The primary mission today is Linchpin, where you score 3 VP for controlling your home objective marker and 5 VP for each other objective marker that you control. The mission rule is Raise Banners, where a battle line unit from your army within an objective marker scores an additional 1 VP for every marker they control. And finally, the deployment is Dawn of War. And a big shout out to our sponsor Dragonfall, a charity gaming convention. Link in the description below. Check them out.
We're doing the Hexwarp Thrallband. The unit that we're going to be specializing in is the Scarab Occult Terminator block of 10 with a Scarab Occult Terminator Sorcerer leading the pack. My hope is that with their extra armor, they're able to carry the heaviest of books into battle and drop some knowledge on the Tau. So we've got Ahriman leading a group of 5 Rubric Marines. We've got an Exalted Sorcerer on disc that's going to try and grab some secondaries. We've got an Infernal Master with a group of 5, and then a Thousand Suns Demon Prince. The Demon Prince on foot is going to be having the Empowered Manifestation to extend his range of his stealth aura, and then the Thousand Suns Demon Prince with wings is going to be our uppy-downy target to try and grab some secondaries as well. We've got a Thousand Suns Sorcerer to hold our home objective with that pseudo 18-inch Lonop, and then a Thousand Suns Sorcerer in Terminator armor. He's going to be having the Knocklift Mantle, try and benefit being in the flow and going with the flow. The Thousand Suns Terminator armor Sorcerer is with a block of 10 Scarab Occult Terminators. I've got 2 of my best boys in the Mutalith Vortex Beast, otherwise known as the MVBs. It's an elite list. I don't have much shape to throw around, but my hopes is that I'll have just enough to power through to victory.
Hello everyone, I am running the Tau, and they will be in their new detachment, the Auxiliary Cadre. It is very Kroot heavy, as the detachment really demands that type of cooperation, and I'm curious to see how this works. So first up, I have 50 Kroot Carnivore. Now they're split up in 3 different units, and the one unit is led by a Flesh Shaper, who gives a unit a 6-up Feel No Pain and Sustain Hits 1. The other unit is led by a War Shaper, who gives a unit a reduced CP stratagem by 1. Next I have Shadow Sun, the hero of the Empire. She has reroll 1's aura and is very versatile piece, and I try to have her in every list that I take. There's always a use for her. I have 2 Cadre Fireblades, who will be leading 2 10-man Breacher teams. Now Breachers have a lot of firepower, and they can reroll the wound roll as long as an enemy unit is on the objective. They will also be hitching a ride in the Devilfish to keep them alive and try to get them on that set objective. I have 3 Missile Fire Knife units for some added range to the list. I want to hold them back and use them as some backline shooting as much as I possibly can. And because they have 30-inch range, so they have pretty solid range. So I want to try to keep them in the back, shoot targets, and see how that works. Next I have Krootox Rampagers, who's gonna charge the front line, and they're gonna give me a legitimate melee threat, something that Tau lack. I have 2 Krootox Riders who can both shoot and melee. So that's also a good option there. The Pathfinder team, who can spot for 2 separate units for the greater good, so that's what I'll be primarily using them for. I have 2 Skyray gunships for some anti-tank missile rack action. And finally, the Vespid Stingwings. Now these are the original models, so they're in the original metal. I don't have the new versions, but they will deep strike, and I'm hoping to score some objectives in the backfield with the Stingwings. The War Shaper has the enhancement Fanatical Convert, and that enhancement gives the ability to use the greater good for that model. And that is 2,000 points exactly of the greater good. Let's get to the battlefield. All right, everyone, welcome to our battlefield today. We are using the Tabletop Titans terrain. This is the overgrown city here, and as you can see, it's actually very, very nice terrain. Josh is petting his MVB.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna remember that for this game, the MVB.
Oh yeah. You already know, everyone that's watching. Drop a like and subscribe if you like the MVP.
Yes, that would be very, very grateful. Now, we do have Dragonfall terrain mats, so thank you, Dragonfall. And we also have the 40 millimeter
Just a 40
markers. Yeah,
we got some 40s down here.
We got some 40s, and that is to show the objective because the mats kind of overhang the terrain. So as far as terrain rules go, if you can get on top, your model can fit. Your model can be on top of these structures here. The first floors you can see through and shoot through, and infantry and beasts can move through these buildings as normal. And in particular, like for this structure here, models can move through this little structure as well. Yes, as Josh is displaying. So keeping things fun, keeping things simple for this nice terrain. And we are going to go into our attacker defender role.
Always having fun down here. 2. Hey!
And 1. All right.
Do you have any infiltrators, or do you have any scout units?
I have both.
You've got both. Okay. I do not. So that was just a trick. You can deploy first.
Okay. All right, we'll be back after our deployment. We are back after we have made all of our drops here. As you can see, there are bodies everywhere, but we're going to start with 1,000 Suns. And Josh, tell us why you moved, where you moved, and why you put the pieces where you put them.
Well, first thing, I wanted to start everything out on the table. I know that with the Hexwarp Thrallband, we've got abilities to deep strike extra units. But Tau is bringing way too many models, and it would be very inefficient if these 20 blobs and these vehicles were to space out long enough to where we would only be deploying on our side of the field on the second and third turn. So how that ended up working out is we're covering the mid parts of the board. We've got 3 major choke points here, and we wanted to have a Meteor Vortex Beast to respect each of these. We've got the Thousand Suns Demon Prince in the middle, giving a -1 to hit aura of 12 inches because of the enhancement to help us withstand the attacks if we get second turn. And then Demon Prince is here for his uppy downy, and then to kind of re-engage the middle of the battlefield if he decides not to go back in reserves. Rubric Marines are out to the side here to kind of cover the flanks. Since infantry can come in through here the easiest, we want to make sure we can win that matchup. But ultimately, we put the blob of our 10 Scarab Occult Terminators, because with this detachment, we do need to move to the center of the battlefield to get that flow of magic going. Our best chance of doing that is to have the center controlled by a tough OC blob of Terminators, and to maybe take one of these flanks to get into the flow. So we're going to go with the flow with this deployment today.
All right, and as far as Tau is concerned, all of my recruit units do scout. So I put the carnivores on the line because they're just going to be bouncing up the board. The Krutox Rider is sitting behind this building here because he's just going to scout out. These carnivores here are going to sit on this home objective, hold it, and then they're going to move because carnivores have sticky objectives. These skyrays are in the back just for some backline shooting because they can shoot across the board pretty much. The devilfish are up here because the plan is to move my breachers up and fight in the middle. These two here. And then I did bring down one unit of fire knife missile units there on the building there. I do have my other units in reserve, and the Vespid Stingwings are also in reserve. I infiltrated the Pathfinders here, so they're holding this objective, and I infiltrated Shadow Sun, and she's holding that objective there. So we'll see how this goes, and right now everything's all deployed, and we are going to roll for the first turn.
I would really like to go second in this matchup. The Thousand Suns are already a slow army, and I'm up against some very long-range shooting. I'm not sure how the cover is going to match up with the tabletop tactics terrain. So I would hope to get the second turn and then try to score as many primary and secondary points at the end of turn 5.
Okay.
5 and a 6.
5 and a 6. So Tau will go first, and we'll be back with Tau turn 1. Tau have moved for their first turn, and what I did here, I moved my Kroot carnivores to the middle, so there's around 20 bodies holding that objective there. I moved these Kroot carnivores up as well. I moved my Pathfinders up. And they stayed so they can hold the objective. And these Kroot moved up. Shadow Sun stayed. And then the Devilfish with the Breachers moved up as well. Now my missions are establish locusts and recover assets. So these Kroot here will be I don't break them. Will be recovering assets. Shadow Sun will be recovering assets. And the hope there is that because, Shadow Sun is stealth and has cover, that she will survive any Thousand Suns attack, because I have to survive the Thousand Suns turn to score these points. As far as established locust goes, these Kroot carnivores here will be establishing my locust in the middle of the field, and those are points I will get because Thousand Suns can't stop me, at least not that one. But recovering assets, I have to survive the Thousand Suns turn. So this is what I've done for moving. I will see if we have any shooting targets. It looks like we might have a few, and we will return with Tau shooting phase. All right, we are back with Tau shooting phase. Now, Tau shoots a ton of guns. So we're going to condense this as much as possible, so we're not having a 8-hour video. Now I do have a couple targets. The Devilfish, Skyray's got a target, and we're going to start with the Devilfish, who is going to put his Seeker missiles into the Mutileth Vortex Beast, and I got that right on the first try. Okay, here we go. Now, the Devilfish has 2 Seeker missiles. He can only shoot them. The 2 he has can only be shot once a game. We are hitting on 4s here.
With -1 to hit.
-1 to hit, so 5s. I do get 1. Strength 14.
Toughness 10.
So a 3 to wound.
Got it.
It does wound. That is a -3, but cover, so -2.
I am at invulnerable save of a 5-up. We failed it.
That is a D6 plus 1 damage for
4 damage. I've got a feel no pain of a 5-up. And we felt 3 of those.
All right. So not a bad start. So the Devilfish is done. I'm not going to put any small arms into the MVB because it's not really going to matter. So Devilfish is done, but now we will go to the Skyray, who's going to put his Seeker Missile Rack into the MVB here. All right, so we are hitting on 5s because of the -1. Okay, do get 1. And strength 14, so 3s, and this is twin linked.
Got it.
Got it. -2 because you have cover.
5 up. Failed it.
That is another D6 plus 1, 4. Just
2
for
damage.
2.
And we only felt one of those.
Okay. All right. So that is done there. Now we have this Sky Ray going into the other MVB here. The Pathfinders are going to spot for the Sky Ray, who's going to shoot the Mutalith Vortex Beast. Now the greater good mechanic, I'm going to try to keep track of it as good as I can and show you guys exactly why things are hitting on what they're hitting on. Now, because of the greater good, I am hitting on 4s because the -1 has been negated to hit the MVB. So Seeker Missiles on 4s. Okay, 2 go through, and wounding on 3s. But, oh, so targeting array, I made a boo-boo already. So I can re-roll 1 wound roll. So, a 3.
Got it.
So that does go through. -2.
Invulnerable save of a 5 up. Failed it.
And then D6 plus 1 damage for another 4.
Feel no pain. He feels 3 of them.
Okay. Alright, so more greater good. We have the Fire Knife suit is going to spot for the Pathfinders, who is going to put their rail rifles into the Vortex Beast. And they're going to split fire. The pulse rifles are going to go, the pulse carbines are going to go into these guys here.
Oh, that's Aramon's unit. That's not just these guys.
Armand's unit, yes. So, okay, so first we're going to do the rail rifles into the beast. Now that will be a +1 to my ballistic skill because they're being spotted for.
And then -1 for stealth.
And -1 for stealth. So we will be hitting on 5s with the rail rifle. Now these are devastating wounds as well, but we got to get to that step. So hitting on 5s here. Okay. Do get 1. I need a 4, and this devastates.
Yeah,
Nope.
5's good.
Do get 1. That is a -4.
So we're on an invuln of a 5 up. We failed it.
And that is a 3 flat damage.
3 flat. I got to feel no pain. We feel it all.
Okay. Okay. So that is it as far as Tau shooting is concerned. I did take some wounds off the Vortex Beast, so that was good there. Now I have to survive in the middle. Well, no, I have to survive. Shadow Sun has to survive, and the Carnivores have to survive, so I can recover the assets, and we'll be back. 1,000 Suns, turn 1. We are here at 1,000 Suns, turn 1. And Josh, tell us what your missions are, what you did, what you're doing.
Well, just like our host, Papa Bear, I drew Established Locust turn 1, and that is preoccupied in that center, so I don't believe I'll be able to score that. But I do have Secure No Man's Land. I was able to fly my Exalted Sorcerer on disc over to contest this objective. Look to try and control that, even though with the plethora of OC. And then over here, we're moving up a unit, maybe to try and charge and consolidate onto this objective to try and out-OC that. I do believe that I will lose my pet MVBs by turn 2, so they're doing a full assault up the middle of the board to try and take out some objective contesting units. They're both in range of enemy units for their ability, which is called the Mutating Vortex. So we're going to roll those now before we go into the shooting phase. Right here, this is the only unit within 6. So we're going to roll a dice on a 1, or excuse me, on a 1 that does nothing, and a 2 or 3, it's a mortal wound, 4 or 5, D3 mortal wounds. On a 6, D6 mortal wounds, and regardless of what I roll 2 through 6, they must take a battle shot. Yes.
Okay.
We rolled a 3, so that's going to be 1 mortal wound to that
All right.
And then you will have to take a battle shock test.
All right, and this is on the Devilfish.
Yes.
All right, so my leadership is a 7, and here we go.
He loves
All
it.
good.
He doesn't care. And then for this one, we've got this unit here, and then these units up here. Let's roll for this unit here.
Okay.
2, so that's 1 mortal wound.
All right, so
And
guy
then
falls.
This unit here. 5, that's going to be D3 mortal wounds.
D3 mortal wounds.
2.
For 2. So two Pathfinders down and 1 Carnivore down, and a Devilfish takes a mortal wound there. And Josh, how many Cabal points do you have?
This list, I'm able to pack 18. So even though we're not bringing Magnus, we do have 18 Cabal points for this list. And you're going to start out with considerably less. You've got stuff in transports or stuff that's in Deep Strike or reserves. But because of the model count that we're up against, everything's on the battlefield. So we're going to start doing double Doombolt. The Terminator Sorcerer is going to Doombolt here. And then we're going to have this Sorcerer here, Doombolt here as well.
So the Devilfish is in trouble. All right, so now we've got the double Doombolt on the Devilfish.
Start with that Scarab Occult Terminator right there. 3, that's going to be D3 plus 3 mortal wounds.
Oh.
It's going to be 5 total. And then with the other one, that's going to be D3 plus 3. That's going to be 5. So 10 mortal wounds to that tank.
Wow. So in one shot, the Devilfish has 3 wounds remaining. But it's still up, at least for right now.
Oh, hold on. Hold the phones. We need to redo that. These guys cannot use Cabal rituals because they have that enhancement that says they're always in flux, but they can't be selected to do that. So, guys, this detachment's just garbage, right? But that's okay. So, 18 inches is the range. We would have hit that with this guy and this guy, so we're still good.
Okay.
Please take that same damage. We just can't do it from that angle.
Yep. Okay, that's good distinction to make. All right, so I still take 10, but coming from different sorcerers.
Yep.
All right. All right, so we are right middle in the Thousand Suns shooting phase. Now, I have already lost 6 Crew Carnivores due to the shooting shenanigans over here. I am going to pop spin a CP and use Go to Ground to give me a Feel No Pain 6-up, not a Feel No Pain, a 6-up invulnerable save, and a benefit of cover on the Scroot here. And Josh, tell us what you're going to do to my poor Devilfish.
So this is obviously the substitute brand, the store brand of the Magnus the Red for our lists. We're going to be shooting the Coruscating Flames anti-vehicle weapon, the Hellfire missile racks, and the Soul Reaper cannons for their propensity for devastating wounds into this tank, but to get rid of these 3 wounds remaining. And then all of the bolters are going to be going into the Crute. Since we're at half range, we'll get double the shots. The leader gives lethal hits, and once per game, the Demon Prince on foot can give precision to a unit. So these guys have precision into this unit. We're guaranteed to get that leader out. We just want to see if we can wipe the squad.
All right, we'll see what survived. I think the Devilfish is done. We'll see if the Crute actually survived this. So what are we shooting first?
We're shooting into the tank so you get all your boys out.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So does the Devilfish explode? Let's certainly hope not.
No.
He does not. So my breachers have to come out. We'll see who survives, and we'll let you know. All right, so before we come out of the Devilfish, we are going to just finish the sequence here and have the Terminators put all the rest of their guns into the Carnivores, and we'll see what we have left.
So we're going to start with Warp Smite on the Scarab Occult Sorcerer Leader. That's 3 shots, hitting on 3s. Oh, they have stealth, though, so they're hitting on 4s. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's why we roll the dice. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 combi bolters times 4. 1, 2, 4. We'll just do this 3 times.
Yep.
These are hitting on 4s. Alright. We got 2 lethal hits. Strength 4 versus toughness
T3.
T3, so 3s. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many wounds does your leader have?
He's got 3.
All right, so I roll the 6 saves, and we'll try to apply those wounds first to the leader.
All right, so I've got a this got AP, doesn't it?
AP 1.
Okay, so yeah, 6 up, invulnerable save, and the benefit cover doesn't matter. So nothing. Didn't save a single thing.
So leader dead, and are they one apiece or 2 wounds apiece?
1 wound.
So it's 3 guys and the leader.
3 guys, and the leader is down.
4. We're going to go again. Looking for 4s. It's a lot. We got some lethal. And then 3s. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Okay. More 6 up, feel no pains.
1. So 8 guys. Oh, cocked. Try it again.
Okay, maybe I'll get lucky here.
Oh.
Nope.
So 8 more.
8 more. That might be the 8. I think there's 1
8
guy
plus
left.
3, 11.
1 guy left.
A lot of fails here. Looking for 4s. Uh-oh.
I need 2 6s to keep the squad
This
alive.
came closer than we thought.
All right, so my crew carnivores are all down on the center objective. All right, so more of the Thousand Suns shooting. I lost the carnivores here. The breacher team has now come out, and they're on the middle objective, staring down the barrel of these Terminators here. I lost my Pathfinders, and the Vortex Beast, and what's this? The
Exalted Sorcerer on Disc. Very creative names.
Exalted Sorcerer on Disc have charged into my carnivores here as well. And then we have the Vortex Beast who charged into the Devilfish with the Breacher still inside. I lost my Kroot Rampagers. So, but the good thing is that this group will not be able to charge to get this objective here. So Shadow Sun is still holding it down. And
yeah, we killed some good stuff, but a little too good. We missed our slingshot here to get on the objective, and by killing all the Kroot here, we eliminated the charge target to get us onto an objective. So, you know, that's the benefit of bringing chafe units, is you can make those decisions hard for your opponent. I'm now in a situation where I'm not going to have the objectives, but hopefully, as it is the bottom of turn 1, I can do some damage in the combat phase, and we can make up those points later on in the game.
yeah, so silver lining for me at least is now that a lot of the targets are in the open for my turn 2, I should have some targets to shoot at, and we'll see how that goes. But for right now, we've done the charges, as you can see. We're going to go into Thousand Suns fight phase and be back for the aftermath. I have a feeling my carnivores will not survive. We have returned from Thousand Suns fight phase. The Devilfish is down to 8 wounds from 12 from the MVB. And then my carnivores indeed did not survive, except for the Flesh Shaper. He is the one model remaining, my leader, Flesh Shaper. But he is there. He did survive. Now, that is it as far as does the Thousand Suns have anything else they're going to do, Josh?
Well, I'm going to remind you, I think you have to do a desperate escape test for those guys that came out of that exploded vehicle. And I think if you roll a number, they die.
Yeah, I did that. That's why I only got 8.
Then there's nothing the Thousand Suns have to say.
All right. All righty. That is it. So we're going to go to Tau turn 2. I actually do have some targets here. I need to have a good round of shooting.
I think my
for
beasts
the
are about
Tau.
to die, so I think it's
So,
about to happen.
Let's hope so. We'll be back. Tau turn 2. So we are here at Tau turn 2. I pulled Defend Stronghold and Cleanse. So my Breacher team here, they'll be cleansing. And then I have a Cadre Fireblade over here who will be cleansing. For my movement, the reason there's only one Fireblade here, I got out of combat with the Vortex Beast, came up here, dropped down, got overwatched by this blob of psychic might here, and lost my breachers in this corner. But I wanted to stay on this objective simply because the Terminator brick here, I won't be able to do anything about them. They got a -1 to wound, 3 wounds each. There's no reason to shoot at this. So my thought process is fight for this one. So I've got stuff over here to try to do that. I did bring down my Fire Knife missile suit here, one in the backfield. I brought the other Fire Knife suit here for some shooting support. And my Flesh Shaper, he retreated and moved over here. I moved my missile guys here for some shooting as well. And the 2 Sky Rays stayed where they were. Now, I have a Recruit Rider who's got gonna line up some shots. My Shadow Sun is right here, who is gonna shoot at this blob as well. And I have one more Recruit Rider right here who is also gonna shoot at the Vortex Beast. Vortex Beast. So now that is it for my moving, and I have Defend Stronghold, so the crew are going to hold this down for my Defend Stronghold. And again, the Breachers and the Cadre Fireblade are going to cleanse over here. So that's my movement phase. We're going to go to Tau shooting, where I do have some shots lined up, and I need a good round of shooting here or I will be in trouble. So we'll see what happens. Welcome to Tau shooting phase. Now this has come up finally. The auxiliary rules have come up in the shooting phase. So the Flesh Shaper here is within 9 inches of the the MVB. I struggle with that so much. Within 9 inches of the MVB. Now, my Fire Knife unit is going to shoot at the MVB with an additional AP of 1 for their characteristic because of the auxiliary rules. So I wanted to get this on camera because this is why I brought the detachment, and so we'll see what it does. Now I've got missiles, 12 missiles at AP2, 2 damage.
He's only got 4 wounds left.
He's got 4 wounds remaining. So let's find out if I can actually get rid of him here. 4s, we rolling 1s. Okay, and we are wounding on 5s. So he's got two wounds left. 2 wounds left. Okay. All right. So the next Fire Knife suits are all going to go into the beast to take off these last 2 wounds. And again, the Flesh Shaper is giving me an additional AP. So we've got 12 shots. All right, the MVB is down, but he did a good job. He did a real good job. All right, so now we're at the end of the Tau shooting phase. So a little recap. The MVB has fallen. He did not explode. I did manage to take this blob here down to a few guys, so that was good. The MVB here is down to 4 wounds, but he's still alive, so that is not good. I did not bother shooting these Terminators whatsoever. It would have been an absolute waste, but that's pretty much it. Shooting has been kind of hit and miss, mostly miss, especially with the crew, but they're just chaff, and they're giving me -1 AP, which actually got into effect over here for the Vortex Beast. So that is Tau shooting. But the good thing is that I will get my cleanse and we will see about defend strongholds, but I should get that as well. And we will return for the Thousand Suns response. Thousand Suns turn 2. All right, welcome to Thousand Suns, top of turn, well, bottom of turn 2. And all right, Josh, tell us what you did with your Thousand Suns.
So we moved to the middle of the board to try and get the flux going right now. Right now we are just about in flux. We are going to, we moved our unit over here to attack these, what are they called?
Fire Knife.
Fire Knife. And you at the end of the phase moved your Vespids in to contest this objective. We moved the Scarab Occult Terminators up to take care of this front. Demon Prince with his extra 6 inches on Psychic to Doombolt the Kroot back there. We paid a CP to automatically pass a Battle Shock test on the Infernal Masters unit. And we're going to just try and clean up here. And we're a little bit weak on that flank over here with Ahriman, but we'll see if he can just be a stud with his Cabal Ritual for free. So at the start of the shooting phase, we're going to go ahead and Doombolt with the Demon Prince into the Kroot back there. We're going to roll the dice.
All right, so the reason this is important is because Josh's secondaries.
Mark for death and defend stronghold. So really hard secondaries this game. He's picked his skyships and the Kroot in that back line. So I really have to extend. You see I moved this Mulith Vortex Beast up with only 4 wounds to try and get a target on them. And we're going to see if we can't try to get that secondary.
Yeah, so if I lose my Kroot here, he will get his mark, some of his mark for death targets. So that's why he's got to take out the Kroot boys. And Doombolt's the way to do it because they are stealth, but it doesn't matter.
Here we go.
Doombolt.
We're going to do D3 plus 3. That's going to be a full 6 for those mortal wounds there.
So that is 6 carnivores down. So 4 more to go for mark for death.
I'm down to 11. I'm thinking we're going to have to Doombolt here. So we're going to Doombolt from up high and go down to 4. Actually, no, I can't do that. You've put me in a bind here. I've got to spend 5 and go down to 6 to move again with this unit because I'm not on this objective at this point in time. That's the best we're going to get on that objective.
Yep.
I've got 6 left. I can usually save that for a strat for 1 less or a reroll. So we're going to move to the shooting phase. First shots here is the Mulith Vortex Beast into your Kroot.
So the Kroot Carnivore Squad, they do fall. I have 4 left. They do fall. So he will get 1 for mark for death. So good job there. The good thing is about Kroot is that they are, the carnivores are sticky objectives. So I am still holding my home objective even though there's nothing on it.
That's awesome.
We have come to the end of the Thousand Suns shooting phase. And it was a good one. I lost my Fireblade here. So Thousand Suns are fully in control here. I did lose 2 of my Fire Knives here. I brought my Vespids down to try to contest for this home objective. And they got smoked. They're gone. So that was a failed. The strategy was sound, but the units did not survive. I did lose a Fire Knife here. I lost 1 model there, and I lost all 3 of my Fire Knives that were in this spot here. They are no longer there. And
we're going to do some charges to see if we can't muck up the action.
All right, that's the charge phase. We'll be back to see the aftermath of the Thousand Suns in melee. Aftermath of Thousand Suns melee. So my flesh shaper has fallen. So Armand's fully in control of that objective. So I got some work to do there. I did lose a few more breachers here. So they're stuck in. But the Devilfish took no damage from any of the units attacking it. So the Devilfish is still at 8. And the Skyray is at 4 from the MVB. Now, It is the end of the turn. I do score my defense stronghold solely because the Kroot have these sticky objectives. So I will get my defense stronghold, thankfully, and we will return for the Tau response. Tau turn 3. Here we are at the top of Tau turn 3. So I didn't really move too much. I have extend battle lines and containment. So this Kroot here will be containing on this edge. And then my fire knife unit will be containing on that edge. So that'll max me out at containment. Shadow Sun is here because she's going to try to get rid of the rubrics here. We'll see how that goes. The Devilfish and Demon Prince are stuck in. The MVB and Sky Ray are also stuck in. Now for extend battle lines, the Breachers, they moved more of their units onto this center objective here. So that is more OC than what is currently on there. So that'll give me extend battle lines there. And then over here, I didn't move a single thing over here, mostly because of these flamers, and I just don't want to deal with that Overwatch. So did not move anything there. And we are going to go to, just to give everybody a little view of what the board's looking like. We are going to go to Tau shooting phase, where my firepower is really diminished, but I've got enough guns in the right place to hopefully help me out here. So we'll be back for Tau shooting. Alright, Tau shooting. The first thing we're going to do, we are going to put the Sky Ray into the MVB. Now they are in engagement range. So this will be at a penalty to hit. So let me show everybody. So here's what we're going to do. The Devilfish is going to spot for the Sky Ray, who's going to then shoot into the MVB. Now, that's all going to cancel itself out because they're in combat, but anything to help the ballistic skill. So we are looking at 3 shots. And I'm going to put my small arms fire from the Sky Ray into the Rubric Marines here. So let me show you. So the small arms are going to go into the Rubric Marines because they're indirect fire. So just so we're all on the same page.
Can't shoot those guys because they're in combat.
Ah, right. So never mind. Okay. All right. So now we are looking at 3 shots hitting on 4s. Not good start. I can re-roll a hit roll of 1. Do I want to do that on a 4-up? I'll take the chance. Okay, so that failed. Now wounding on 3. That is a wound.
AP?
AP is 3.
5 up. Invuln. Failed it.
D6 plus 1. He's got 4 left. I need to roll a 3 here. Well, he's got the feel no pain too. So,
exactly. I need to roll 1 5 or a 6.
1 5 and he lives.
Got 2. So I'll take 2. He's down to 2.
He's down to 2. That is just great. I can't believe the MVB is still alive. The Fire Knife are also going to shoot at Ahriman's unit. Now, I'm going to use one of my new stratagems for this, okay? It is called Guided Fire. So what it does is, in the shooting phase, until the end of the phase, I add 1 to the strength characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by models in your unit. If the unit is wholly within 9 of a Kroot or Vespid, I add 2 to the strength. So, as you can see, I am right next to the rider, well within 9 inches of the rider, so I will get +2 to my strength. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s.
4s are, oh yeah.
Wounding on 2s because of guided fire. And I I will roll a couple of ones.
What's the
Oh
AP
my
on
God.
that?
AP is -1, but you're in cover.
I'm in cover, so I'm going to 3 up. And I passed them both.
And you passed them both. All that setup for nothing. Armand's unit, unkillable. All right, so the last bit of shooting, Devilfish and Shadow Sun did nothing each, respectively. And we're going to go into the fight phase because I'm not going to charge because I'm Tau. And we have a fight here with the MVB and the Skyray. Skyray goes down. That is all. Well, we have some more fights here.
Yep, you get to activate next.
Yep. All right, we'll be back. All right, so we are back after the fighting has done. So the Devilfish finally fell. Devilfish is down. He did not explode. So now the Demon Prince and the Rubrics are free to go, but they still have to contend with Shadow Sun and the Krutux Rider here. Now, that is it for Tau turn 3. We are going to start for Thousand Suns turn 3. All right, we are at the bottom of Thousand Suns turn 3. So, Josh, tell us what you did.
Well, at the after scoring primary, I'm down 9 points, 53 to 44. So I'm trying to get really aggressive to try and score some secondaries. I drew Assassination and Cleanse, so there is a character in this unit. We're going to just shoot as much firepower into there to accomplish Assassination. And then the Demon Prince and the Exalted Sorcerer on disc are now going to be Action Monkeys doing Cleanse to max that out. We've got Demon Prince and the Infernal Master that passed their Battle Shock test to try and take out this Commander Shadow Sun. I've got 18 Cabal points still, which is a fantastic resource this late in the game. And Armand's about to use his once per game free Cabal to do another Doom Bolt. So let's get to rolling Doom Bolts. The first one is going to be into Shadow Sun here. I'm going to roll a dice.
Okay.
3, so that's going to be D3 plus 3. It's going to be 6 mortal wounds to Shadow Sun.
All right, and that takes her out.
Wow. The second one is going to be from this sorcerer here. He's going to hit that Sky Ray.
Okay. 1,
so that's only D3. And that's going to be 1 mortal wound. And then Armand's going to use his free one.
Yep.
6, that's going to be D3 plus 6. So that's going to be 7 plus the 1. So it's going to be 8 total.
8 total. So where's Perils of the Warp when you need it?
Those are in the last editions where we paid for our sins.
So, Justin Doom Bolts, Shadow Sun has fallen. She got the mind bullets to the brain, and then the Sky Ray has taken 8 wounds in one go. So not bad from the Thousand Suns command phase. And what are your objectives?
We got Assassination and Cleanse. So we already got Assassination from this.
Yep.
And now we're looking at Cleanse on those 2 objectives. Which
all right, perfect. So we're going to be back after Thousand Suns shooting. All right, we are back for the Thousand Suns shooting phase. And all right, so we already lost Shadow Sun here. We lost the Breachers there. We lost the Krutux Rider here. And now Armand has charged into my 2 Fire Knife units. And the Sky Ray is on 6. So as of right now, I have 2 units remaining, period, for the game. As Thousand Suns march on. Now, Armand is fully capable of taking out the, that unit is capable of taking out the Fire Knife unit. We will see what happens. And we're going to find out in just a moment. So, after the fighting, I've got literally 2 models. 2 models remain for the Tau. We're not giving up yet. We're not giving up yet. We will see you guys top of Tau turn 4 with my 2 models for the greater good. All right, so we are top of Tau turn 4. And as you've seen, only had a couple models left. So I fell back here to try to get on this objective, and we kind of talked the rest of it out. Obviously, with 2 models left against an army, despite how brave the Tau are, we will concede the battle today, and the Thousand Sons will have a victory over the Tau.
What a game. The Hexwarp Thrallband, or the Flex Warp is what we should call them today. They did great. Scarab Cult Terminators are still slow. I think the Deep Strike strat, which gives them a 6-inch drop, but they can't charge, might be worth considering keeping off the board. Again, we were going up against a lot of models, and if we didn't have them on the board, we could have been zoned out pretty quickly. But I had fun, and I'm looking to see what this Tau detachment can do in the future with all the extra AP flying at us.
Well, tough goal for the Tau there. I do actually like the detachment. I think the detachment does have some utility. The rule itself is kind of situational, but it's my first time playing it. It's my first time playing Kroot, so there's some growing pains there. But solid rule. The greater good is it's the greater good. So there's going to be that penalty, but that's okay. I felt like the Army did well. I felt like we represented the greater good, but you win some, you lose some.